off right, boys. Yeah. Oh my God.
Hi, Mom. Sorry, not sorry.
But on camera when I die?
Of course. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Brap Genius back at it again with another video. We're going to be doing the build and put together and taking apart of this thing to put the 2020 Boom Vader together. It's basically a Honda Grom. It's a clone of a Honda Grom, so we're going to be taking it apart now. Before we even get into this, I just want to make sure that you guys are aware it's easiest to take it apart. You just take all of the bottom ones off, and then you'll be able just to lift this up, and you won't have to worry about, you know, taking every single piece apart. You can take this apart when you want later, but obviously you want to get to the bike. You've been waiting a long time to get the bike, so we're going to do it as quick as possible. Alright, so like I said, these bolts are all 10 millimeters, so it's going to make your life a lot easier if you have a socket wrench. Get in here, pop all these off. Alright guys, so now I went around this whole thing and bolted all of the bottom bolts. That's going to be the easiest way to take this thing off. Last thing I got to do before we take it off in general, you got to pop this off here. Come around here. Splice this one, which I already did. There's these two metal wires, I guess, to hold the bike on there. Undo those, take them off, angle them away from the bar itself and away from your fairings so you don't mess them up. Do that. Like I said, then we gotta cut the wheel off. Okay, so we will cut this off here. That's good. Take that out. I can roll the wheel out this way towards me. Take this little 15-pound wheel, put it on the side. And now at this point, I think we can go ahead and take this metal off and really get into the bike. So put down our razor and I will attempt to pick this up and we'll see how it goes. There's one more that we don't want to forget about, which is right here, which I missed. Right there, we'll cut that one. There we go. Nice and easy, we don't want to scratch the bearings or anything. Set up out of the way. Alright, so now at this point, I'm just going to start to go through and just take off some of the plastic and everything off of here and really take a look into the bike. We've got to set up the bars still. We're going to have to take the 10-pound wheel over there, put it on here. And there's a couple other little things we got to do, like setting up the battery and stuff. So I'm just going to start to take all the stuff off so we can really take a look at what we got going on. Yeah. Look at that color, huh? That's such a nice color. Came pretty clean too. Expecting a lot of gashes and stuff from what I've heard about the reviews of this thing. Okay. Seat cover off. See in there we got the battery. Go through, we got the rear fender down here that I'm gonna take out. See what we got in our box over here. And yeah, so I'll come back, update you guys in a second once I got all this stuff off. Alright guys, so quick update. I've taken off all the plastic and stuff like that on the outside to really get a good look at the bike. I ordered mine personally from Red Fox Power Sports. They have a lot of negative reviews, but you know, I was waiting so long, I wanted to test. I figured out, you know, I wanted the bike so bad, I figured I was going to give it a shot. My personal opinion is that you're not going to see the result of something till you try it yourself, because while they did have a lot of negative reviews, you could see the response to the negative reviews that Red Fox would leave, and a lot of the times it was things that were out of their control. They got a lot of complaints for their customer service, which you just have to go and, you know, do their online chat, that's where you're gonna have the best luck. Their phone, for whatever reason, is not really hooked up. So if you have any problems with parts or anything too, I mean, this bike was $1,100. You know, it's a brand new motorcycle for $1,100. Everybody thinks it's gonna run perfect. Like, there's a lot of things you got to do to make sure that it's gonna run as efficiently as it should. So a lot of people get upset that, you know, it's not as perfect of a bike as they're expecting it to be. But for $1,100, you know, if the thing even runs, like, you should be happy. I bought $1,100 bikes that were, you know, 20 years old and, you know, pieces of crap. But I mean, this is a brand new motorcycle. Change out the carb. I've got a bunch of aftermarket parts that we're going to be doing as I put this together as well. And once I get them on, then I'll start the bike. You know, once everything is done and the bike is upgraded to where it'll be more reliable and more efficient, that's when, you know, that's when I'll put the bike to use and really see how it is. So at this point as well, I also got the title, I guess, basically, and bill of sale from them. It's on a piece of paper. It's not like an official slip, so it's kind of weird, but it does have all the information that I think I need. We'll see how the DMV feels about that when I go, but it should be legit. So they sent me the MCO in the mail. I don't know if they do that for everybody's, but they sent that with the bike. It was underneath the seat here or attached on the outside. I don't really remember. I just kind of saw it on the ground and was, you know, like, what's this? So at this point, I'm going to put on the bars. Basically, what you have to do is just undo these four. These are Allen bolts. Take them off. Take this thing off very carefully. You don't want to scratch the bike. I mean, that's another complaint they had too. A lot of people said that, you know, they got gashes on their sides. I mean, you can see just two little tiny scratches right there. But I mean, you know, it got shipped from China to California. From California, I live in New Jersey. So for it to be in the shape that it's in, I personally am very happy. So I'm going to go through now, take these off, put the bars on, and then we'll go from there. I'll try and put you guys at an angle where you can kind of see what I'm doing. So it fits, which it does. It's very loose in there too for you. They didn't tighten it too much, I guess, so that, you know, you can get it off. When you guys put the bars themselves back on, you do want to put them on tight because you don't want your handlebars falling off on you while you're riding. Now, as I said, be very careful with this pipe. You don't want this falling off and scratching your new fairing. So take the top one off first, then I'll do the bottom one. And I'll go very slow, and I'll make sure I grab it. Alright guys, so like I said, you want to hold the bar so that it does not fall onto your brand new fairings. Add this bar to the collection over here. Now at this point, we could take the bars and line them up. When you put them on here, you really want to see what angle you're going to be on. You're not really going to be able to see me just because of the way I'm going to be doing this. But you could basically adjust the bars forward or back. Sit on the bike. Don't put all your weight on it because it's not set up yet. But put the bars on the bike, take a seat, see how it feels, and adjust them accordingly. And then once you get them on, same thing, you just put these back on and really just make sure they're tight in there. Alright guys, so I actually just came across the first quote-unquote problem that I had with this bike. Basically the clamps here that are going to hold down your bars were not even. Very simple fix. All you got to do is put a little muscle into it and just twist it to adjust them to make sure that they're straight. I think that's pretty straight. It might be a little too far that way. But I can tweak them a little bit as I put the bars on and line them up. So I'll put you guys back, put the bars back on, see where I like them, then I'll tighten them and show you guys that too. Like I said, I'm going to go on here, see how it feels. Alright guys, so basically what I'm finding by doing this here is the easiest way to set it up is to put these things back on before you even adjust the bars. Once they're on, then you can adjust the bars, put them where you want them. So you're going to feel comfortable, make sure they are in there right, and then you can tighten them down. So I like it probably right about there. So now at this point I'm going to tighten everything through, check all the connections, and you know, put them in. So alright guys, so now I got the bars on there. Like I said, I want to Loctite everything on this bike before I really use it. So I tighten up tight enough where the bars aren't gonna move, and then, you know, once I get my Loctite, I'm gonna go through, Loctite all these bolts, and then just go through all the main bolts on the bike, Loctite them. I'm gonna Loctite the bolts down here before I even put the wheel on. All right, everybody, so at this point we're ready to put on the front wheel. Like I said, we got our handlebars on here adjusted the way we want them. From this point, we're just gonna put on this wheel. The way this is set up, the way they send it is actually backwards. This little gold tab here is going to go in here, but it's going to be on this side. And then this is your speed sensor. So we're going to flip that around, and it's going to go on the other side of this wheel. So I'm going to have my sister hold the front forks here after I pull the axle bolt out. Take all that stuff, put it in, and we'll get the wheel on, and then we'll be in pretty good shape. So I'm going to set this up where you guys can see from the side, and we'll get you all set. All right. All right, guys, so we did get the wheel on. It was very hard to do. My sister is probably like 110 pounds, so if you have two full-grown adults, it's pretty easy. But if not, it was pretty difficult. We got it done, but it was not as easy as, you know, we would have liked it to be. But it is done now. So right here you have your wheel speed sensor. That's got to be lined up when you push this through. Then getting this lined up on this side, there's a caliper. You've got a little tab that holds it in place. Make sure it doesn't get locked. Do not hit your front brake, because if you do that and lock the caliper, it's gonna be a pain in the butt to fix that. So basically, once you put the wheel on, right there is your brake pads. You got to slip the rotor in between the brake pads and then line up. There's that little gold bolt that has to come out, so you have to line up the axle with that. And now I'm gonna Loctite this and put the bolt on. This will be done. Last piece we're gonna do today is the fender, and then that'll basically be putting the bike together. After that, you know, I'll go over all the other mods and the simple things you need to do in the beginning before you even really ride the bike, to be honest. So yeah, I'm gonna Loctite the bolt. You want it to be tight, obviously, but you don't want it to be over tight too. That's not a good thing either. So I'm gonna use an 18mm on this side, 9/16 on that side. What if you could just hold that on there on the other side? Take that, plug it into the, yep, put it in the bolt. You know when it's on. Don't spin it or anything. I'm just going to tighten this one. Alright guys, so now we have that on there. Last piece is to put on the front fender, and then we're going to call it a day. Alright guys, for the fender it's going to be very easy. So you have these two bolts right here. We're just going to undo those. As you can see, I've already done on this side. And we're going to line this up over that, over at the top of it, and then put the bolts back on. We'll be done. Alright guys, so there was actually a third bolt right there on both sides that you need to do as well. So it's that one, this one right there, and that one right there. Same thing on this side. One right there, one right there, one right there. Loctite them all, make sure they're on there tight. So now it's on, everything is done. The last thing I'm going to do right now is the mirrors, and then that will conclude today's video of putting this bike together. When it comes to the battery and stuff like that, I'm going to make my own separate video on that. Alright guys, so that was the mirror installation. It's the final part to the bike. You know, I'm going to wash it down and everything. For the, in terms of like the battery and everything like that, you know, that's going to be the next video, you know, going up with actually doing everything you need to do before you start the bike and start riding it. You want to make sure that the bike is in good shape and that it's going to be reliable for you. So there's a couple things you got to do really before you get into that, and I'll talk about that in the next video. So if you guys like this video, great. I got more content coming with this bike, so if you guys are interested in this bike, let me know down below. Let me know what you think of it, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Peace.